Alright, so what I'm doing here is the studs here for rocker arms on AFR heads has one of the stud passages is a through hole and the other one is a blind hole. So we have to put thread sealant to prevent any type of possible, I guess you'd call it a vacuum leak, or loss of compression. I mean, it goes directly into the cylinder. So I spray this with some cleaner, as you've probably watched me do all of the other ones, without explaining what I'm doing. This is Permatex high temperature thread sealant. I get something here in the first 3-4 threads all the way around. Get the guide plate somewhat in position. Run the stud down by hand just so it's snug and it'll hold it so I can get the other one out. Now this one doesn't go all the way through, but I just put a little bit of this on there just to prevent gulling on the threads. I could use some anti-seize or I don't know, any type of thread lubricant, but I already have that out, so that's what I'm going to use. Then my $140 push rods. I cannot believe how expensive chromoly push rods are now. It's amazing. The price of things have skyrocketed since the last time I've done this. So then I kind of line this up centered in the hole. So the push rod's in line with the valve stem here. Gives you a ballpark of where to start to torque down the stud here. AFR says 55 foot-pounds. Just barely want to get it snug. And line this one up as well. And we'll get it started. Go back and forth. This has worked on all of them except for the last one I did there. I had to go back and loosen it up and adjust the guide plate just a little bit. Set this on there. It's basically centered. Looks good. Put a little bit of this Ultra Slick just for the initial start up here. These are used. I think it was back in 2000. I removed these off of the motor they were on. And I'm not setting valve lash or anything like that right now. I'm just getting these studs put in, getting stuff close. We'll come back and do all that. So that's basically it. $20.24 to assemble this 302 motor. Granted, I wasn't planning on buying dome pistons. Pistons I had in the other motor, I thought they had big enough valve reliefs. They did not. That's how come We ended up with these dome pistons for these AFR heads in order to clear the 202 valves in the heads. So pistons were $600. Heads were $1,200. So right there, put you about $1,800 for just the pistons, the heads. I already had the camshaft. If you were to purchase one of those now, it's almost $300. I already had this Victor Jr. intake manifold, single plane. That's almost $300 in today's price. We had piston rings, main and rod bearings. I already had the MSD billet distributor, so we're not even counting that. If we're just counting heads, pistons, rings, and all the bearings, and push rods and the gaskets, it's got a one-piece oil pan gasket. I went with these are Felpro. I think they're 1110 head gaskets. That's what AFR called for. Those were $100. Looking at almost $3,000 to rebuild a 302 2024. That's no machine work. That was me honing the block. That was me polishing the crank. Just basic garage rebuild. I had the rockers. I had, like I said, the timing, double roll timing chain. I already had it brand new in the box. All that stuff, I don't know, it blows my mind. The price of gaskets and bearings and everything, the price. It's pretty amazing where we're at. But it's basically assembled. I don't have a valve or a timing chain gasket cover gasket yet, so that's just sitting on there. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. So you're probably not going to see this going in here. Actually, I'm going to take the water pump and use some of the hardware off the front of this because that's all brand new. All the accessories, probably the Ford Racing valve covers will go on there also. But when I pull this motor, I am going to clean up the engine bay and probably paint it to match the car. We'll, weld up a lot of them holes and clean it up when we have it out. Nothing crazy. I'm not going for the Scott Rod panel look where it's perfectly smooth and stuff like that. But we're just going to clean it up, make it look really good. And then we will stuff this motor in here. But so far, it's been pretty good. Not hard to do. You're just waiting on parts. Waiting on all the parts. And then taking your time assembling them like I did in the other videos. Just taking your time. Measuring everything. Double checking. I did buy a Melling oil pump and shaft. The motor is basically put back together. And get some valve cover gaskets, timing chain, cover gasket and a few other things, and we're going to continue to work on the Mustang here. Want to start on the floors, get it kind of cleaned up in there. I have chassis saver to put on the floor. We'll get that in there, get the carpet ordered, start putting the interior back together. We have lots of projects, but that's it. Nothing special. So that's it. A little bit of a shop update and motor breakdown and what the plans are coming up here shortly. We will just keep picking away at all these projects. You have a cold drink here. Keep picking away at all these projects and I don't know. See how 2024 goes. Lots of stuff in the works I don't want to talk about quite yet. And another save the manuals. We'll be doing a 5-speed swap, getting rid of a auto magical transmission and going with a 5-speed swap. So that'll be upcoming again, just like we did in Lincoln. But thanks for watching. See you next time.